Movie review of Ashabi'S Child, with story written by Bolaji Ogunmola, also starring as Ashabi, screenplay by Owumi Ugbai. This family drama titled Ashabi'S Child is directed by Magnifique Ekravain. Produced and executively produced by Bolaji Ogunmola herself. The movie is currently available for Bolaji Ogunmola YouTube channel. Synopsis is Ashabi is a single mother to her teenage daughter Enitin. When the former receives a distress call from her daughter's boarding school principal, all hell is about to let loose. Enitin seems to be a constant reminder of Ashabi's past. Disturbing and frustratingly as things are, Ashabi appears to be on edge, always battling trust issues from an unresolved post-traumatic stress disorder. My take, if not that the movies were released on same day. One would have thought one took a leaf from the other, as it's Jumbo's My Mother's Daughter and this particular film in view are both centered around same themes of mother-daughter strained relationships, effects of past traumas and family incest. Well, I guess it's pure coincidence, as no man is an island of knowledge. Or is there a script bank somewhere that these people lift stories from, tweak it a little and boom? Food is ready. Never mind, it's just me thinking out loud. The first thing that caught my attention in this movie is the impressive runtime. Next is Michael Dapa's acting here. Dude interpreted the character of a Minu like he was born for it. The infusion of the Hausa language here and there was just so sleek and smooth. He gave a whole new meaning to the word gentleman. This then raises some concerns in me as to a possible sequel for this movie. Bolaji's dressing here too was admirable, very mature, very demure. She gave real emotions to her character. That was classic Michael E. Jor, who played Ashabi's brother as Dotan. He equally embodied his role. The movie, however, didn't have a very strong start, as the lady who played the role of the school principal was somewhat off with her acting. Just shouting a pandan, it's always good to put your best foot forward, you know. That sort of took me aback, as it gave me some concerns for the future delivery of the movie. But hey, the story saved the day. The story, plot, and overall execution were good. The message was passed crystal clear. 1. Parents should create a conducive environment for their kids to be able to tell them anything. And when they confide in them, they should endeavor to take adequate precautions on actions, too. Life is unpredictable and you never can tell who is who anymore. Parents should be protective of their children and not make them easy prey to predators, irrespective of whoever is involved. The world is now more evil than ever. 3. Parents should be vigilant. True, no matter how watchful or intentional you are, things can still go south. But you can only do your best, right? The kids should be your priority above all else. This is often my watchword. 4. The first step to healing is accepting that you have something to heal from. Healing is not instant. It's a process. 5. In the course of making sure our kids do not end up like us, we may just be creating room for them to, just as in the case of Ola Rotimi's The Gods Are Not to Blame, where in a bid to averting a prophecy, the prophecy was in fact being enabled. My observation and questions. 1. There were editing errors. In the second scene, A part was repeated twice, with the principal and Ashabi precisely at frame. This same mistake occurred again in a scene with Ashabi and Aminu in the car towards the end of the movie. For a moment, I thought there was a glitch in my device, too. Clearly, Ashabi had trust issues coupled with her trauma. Since she didn't quite trust her brother and always had her suspicions, why did she allow Dotan stay in Eniton's room that long, even to the extent she didn't know he was still around? 3. For how gentlemanly Aminu is, in order not to trigger any past trauma, is it advisable to have him in same house as Eniton? True, we don't avoid traveling by car because we once experienced a car accident, but to be forewarned is to be forearmed, right? This aspect can actually make for a sequel. 4. Was Eniton really expelled? Or they were only waiting for a decision from her school? For all we know, the principal asked Ashabi to fill an undertaking form after she pleaded. What was the outcome of that? It was confusing to see Eniton back home with talks of uncertainties till the end of the movie. Was that an oversight? Did I miss something? 5. There were inconsistencies between the girls' statements, the principal's submission, and the entire outcome of that incident. The girls said Eniton wanted to post the video on TikTok. The principal concluded that the video was on TikTok, which the parents saw and are clamoring over. How? From where to where? 6. Is Rhodes Ashabi's maiden name? Because we're made to understand she was never married. Eniton bears Rhodes as her last name, which her mother equally bears. The principal called her Miss Rhodes. Does Ashabi's mother also bear this name? 7. What does Ashabi do for a living? Did I miss it? Someone please help. Conclusively, nevertheless, this was an interesting watch. It was entertaining, relaxing, relatable, and easy to watch. It was packed with lessons. Have you seen this? What did you think? I almost didn't even want to continue watching after the very first scene due to the principal's acting. But I continued because I know Bolaji wasn't going to disappoint. The inconsistencies as well were very much noticeable. Right from the first scene, and the almost non-existent topic about Eniton's schooling and exams, almost like they forgot about that part. All in all, it was a good watch. You are right, I don't understand the why they repeated those words twice. Obi-non network. At least they could have done something about it. Secondly, they didn't tell us about Eniton's last decision of the pregnancy. Ashabi left home 17 years ago. What does she do for a living to have such money? What did they do to Ashabi uncle? They just left him like that. They didn't cause they want you have a personal decision on it. You don't expect the writer to write that history repeated to the third generation or applauding abortion. They didn't tell us about Eniton's last decision cause in the last scene where they were with the therapist. We saw that Eniton was visibly pregnant. I will rate this movie 6/10.